would like to start with a homeless solutions problem. Homeless Solutions was a management company for an apartment building in Hawaii, Honolulu, and the name of the building was Island West, Building B. Building A was a little too small for, there were 2 people applying to live in an apartment for 1 person, to pay rent for 1 person, and two people were going to live there and be both on the lease with 1 check signature. I did write the checks for Island West Apartments, but Charles Cho also applied for employment and he received payroll. And when he did, I was supposed to see if he was going to move out and get his own apartment and stay there. But he stayed with me for the whole time I was living in Hawaii. And when I asked him if I could leave Hawaii because I am afraid of my own leverage, because I don't have leverage to be with Charles Cho. He abducted myself by walking into my apartment and refusing to leave. I don't have leverage that way. So I asked him if I could leave Hawaii because I'm just afraid of my own leverage. It's not paid for and it's not deceased, and I know he's not interested, and neither am I. But that's what's wrong with you talking to me about myself. You talked to me all the way until I went to Hawaii, and I'm not from Hawaii, and I don't want to live in Hawaii, and I'm not Asian like Charles To, and I don't want to be last name To. I don't want to be anywhere near him. And it's true that it's homeless right here. That I was ever in Hawaii was just myself being homeless. And it's not true that I was homeless. It's true that there was somebody named Charles To who was talking to me about myself and asked me where I live, and I can't solve that problem. It's the threatening I'm describing. Talk to me about myself, ask me where I live, talk to me about myself, ask me where I live, talk to me about myself, ask me where I live, and I don't have it deceased ever. I don't have to change. There's nothing wrong with me and who I am. Like I don't know how to be myself with 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. I am the founder of 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. I know how to be myself. You are the reason that you know how to be yourselves is not true. I am the reason that you know how to be yourselves somewhat. But you're not correctable by that I am the order. I would never correct you. That means you're wrong somewhere in the past about yourselves, and every time you speak over that you are wrong somewhere in the past, you think that about myself when I can hear you. It's true that you think that when you talk to me and I can hear you. You're threatening that I can hear you. I get it. I know how to be myself. Why don't you stop your loitering? You're not allowed to loiter outside of a McDonald's for more than 45 minutes. You have to leave there trespassing, and you can't loiter there. But loitering is worse than if you have 45 minutes on your watch. Loitering is like if I say, have a nice day, and you're still standing there, you're loitering. You're too late. You're not supposed to hear me say, have a nice day, goodbye. You're not supposed to hear me say goodbye. You're supposed to be God within yourself elsewhere without having to be told by anyone that you're alone in the wrong. You can't just say, I'm not alone in the wrong, I'm not alone. If I tell you you're alone in the wrong, you are. There's no negotiation. Well, I'm not alone. It is additionally worse that when you insist that you're not alone, you're making a speech offense to somebody who doesn't have prejudice to hear it, because I am not the God creating yourself. I have my own genitals. If you're going to make a speech offense against myself, you're due in a prison so that you can make your speech offense in a prison where someone can fight with you about what you said is illegally alive. Nobody can possibly bank that you made a speech offense. Nobody. So let's get to the fascination. Why do you want to talk about sexual abuse with myself? I'm saying it at the end because I'm about to shut off alive. I'm shutting off alive, and I'm going to let you know that I can afford to say some certain things about myself, about sexual abuse, and about your fascination. You want to be fascinated. I'm somebody who's fascinated is not true. You're so hysterical people. There's nothing to talk about with you. And you want to have sexual climax in the presence of an enemy and tell me I said yes, I love you as much as I love my wife. You're hysterical Whopenises who think you are just like my wife. There are so many of you. I have a Hot 1000 list of Whopenis boyfriends who all say yes to themselves and think they are just like my wife to me. My wife and I don't have 15 minutes of pleasure. My wife and I are an eternal union. You're hysterical about your yes and no policy. So do you know who I am, or you don't know who I am? Which way are you asking me for cooperation with how dangerous you are because you don't know how to be yourself? Do you know that a model is somebody who poses in front of a camera and somebody else is taking the photograph captured by a camera? The camera itself will not take a picture of a model. If you don't know how to be yourself, there is no hope. You cannot observe myself and talk to me about myself and ask me where I am. It doesn't matter. I'm not yourself. And look how that doesn't matter.